All right, we have in the news the Tennessee Titans are benching Marcus Mariota in favor of Ryan Tannehill, and there, we kind of saw this maybe coming. The Marcus Mariota's failed to stay healthy the last several years, and kind of derailed their season a few times. This year, he seems healthy, but he seems to be lacking that confidence, lacking that killer instinct to really elevate this offense to where they need to be. The Titans are a team that we thought could make the playoffs, but it seems like this offense is really holding them back. Whether it's the play of Mariota, whether it's the play calling of Arthur Smith, the Titans' offense is just kind of a disaster this season. I think a large part of that falls on Marcus Mariota. If you watch their games, he doesn't really pull the trigger to really attack the defenses. He's missed some easy throws, and so it was only a matter of time with Ryan Tannehill sitting in the wings to go in that direction to see what he has to offer. Tannehill's not, he's got his errors too. He's not a perfect quarterback, but he has led a team to the playoffs in the past. His time in Miami was marred by injuries as well, but he still got to the Dolphins to the playoffs, or on the cusp of the playoffs, a few times. But with Mariota being benched, it kind of raises the question of whether he'll be back next year. And I know in my mock drafts, I've mocked a quarterback to the Titans pretty regularly over the last month, just because it just didn't look like Mariota was going to be their guy. And so I just still, even if Ryan Tannehill does well, I think his injury issues won't prevent, will cause the Tennessee Titans to also draft a quarterback. I know I've had Joe Burrow, I've had Jake Fromm, Justin Herbert at different times. But I think they're going to move on from Marcus Mariota. If you're benching him in the middle of the season, I think it's time maybe to kind of look in a different direction. And if they do cut him loose, cut him, trade him, the team to kind of keep an eye on is the Chicago Bears. Here are the Bears, a team with Mitchell Trubisky. They just drafted him, the number 2 overall pick, a couple years ago. He has shown glimpses of being their starting quarterback in the long term. He helped them last year get to the playoffs. But throughout that process last year, throughout this season prior to his injury, Mitchell Trubisky hasn't really looked like a franchise-level quarterback, and he seems to be a guy that with, to an extent, a limited ceiling. I know I've compared him a lot to Alex Smith, a guy who, is a game manager at his best. He can be a very good game manager and distribute the ball to all the different pieces, but at his best, that's what he's going to be. And I think with Matt Nagy as their head coach, Matt Nagy wasn't there when they drafted Mitchell Trubisky, so I don't know how tied he is to him. I know their general manager, Ryan Pace, was the one who did draft him, so he's got that on his resume. But I don't think they're so willing to kind of hold on to him for the long run like you might see if Nagy was the guy that when he was there. So I think Marcus Mariota is a guy that they could take a look at, whether they trade a low-round pick for him, maybe like a 5th-round pick, a 6th-round pick. Probably, maybe you have to do a 3rd since he was the number 2 overall pick. But I could also see the Titans cutting him and just getting that cash if they can't get a good offer because, maybe they're not willing to take a 5th round or a 6th round pick. They could cut him loose, get that money off their cap, and, I think the Bears would be a good team. And the reason I think the Bears would be interested in Marcus Mariota is because they got Mark Helfrich as their offensive coordinator. That was Marcus Mariota's quarterback's coach, offensive coordinator, and at one point head coach while he was at Oregon and had his best success. Matt Nagy also puts a premium on athletic quarterbacks. You look at, he worked with Alex Smith. He worked with Patrick Mahomes on the bench. Mitchell Trubisky's, a better athlete than, people probably give him credit for. I think he's got that upside, and they take a low-risk chance on him, look to maybe develop him. Maybe they get him, he's another year of being healthy, and he can compete with Mitchell Trubisky, give them a competent backup because Trubisky has shown that he can't stay healthy. And then you never know. Maybe Mitchell Trubisky or maybe Marcus Mariota finally starts getting that development, that comfort. It doesn't really look like he's been too comfortable in Tennessee, especially this year. I don't know if Arthur Smith is going to be the Titans offensive coordinator long term after this year. So I think, Marcus Mariota going in that system where he's got the head coach who's going to be there, he's the offensive mind, getting familiar, getting back to his comfort zone, and who knows, maybe he could really hit off. But if the Titans move on from Marcus Mariota, I think the Bears are the team to really watch in to get his services.